Hello, welcome to this class, or rather, just a stop over on some of the other things I'm trying to get out of the way, especially looking for jobs, doing job interview, preparing for interviews, and seeing job skills also that they are going forward in attending other certification or other trainings. So I thought of making a few videos on a job role, which I always do, but it's not common to everyone else. There might be limited people doing these kind of jobs. So I happen to do them for quite a few years, especially around the Ministry of Defense and civil servants. So the job title, which is common around the Ministry of Defense or Civil Service, is called Security Assurance Coordinator. Now, to do this job, there's several things which you need to have. You can't go to a university or another place to learn to be a security assurance coordinator, even though there are certain courses which can help you to go into that direction, such as the ISACA. ISACA do provide the courses. In short, if we were talking of a consultant company doing the same job, they could refer to this type of role as a IT risk manager. So, or sometimes it's called a GRC expert. So GRC, it just means you do governance, risk, and compliance. So that's what the job entails. Now, there's an upcoming interview which I will do tomorrow. So I'll try to give you back the feedback on this. But what I want you to just to show you the what they are looking for, or rather the experiences. So if you are thinking of doing a similar type of role, what you could expect. So most of these jobs, because they are at senior level, depending which company or which organization you are rolling into, the first thing is there's a lot of hybrid. Now, the hybrid working, it means part of the time you are with the client or at the office, part of the time you are at home. So you are not always from Monday to Friday, always at work. There are certain managers who they feel you need to be present at the office, but that's between your contract and also with the manager to see whether it's in the contract that you can work flexible hours. But most of the jobs nowadays, they will list in there when they are looking for someone to work that they might need to do full time at work, or else being hybrid, i.e. being flexible. So this one we are looking at, the amount is about 57,000 a year. Now these prices, they do differ depending, as I mentioned, which organization you can go. These, they will even go at 70,000 a year. Some they'll go 60. Some they might go even 24 if most of the time, if you're junior, if you're just starting in a role as maybe a civil servant somewhere, they could offer you 24. But you can easily go up within 6 months, because I did the same. I applied, it was at 24. Within 6 months, I asked to be let go to apply for a different department on a higher amount. So you can easily go 30, then you go to another, which might be maybe 30 to 40. Then when you reach 40, you can apply to another organization. So patience also is required for you to do this type of jobs because of just the prices. Sometimes you are coming in, unless you are coming on a fast streamer, which is a different way of working in that same environment, but being accelerated to be given, you could be easily be given 40,000 a year or more if you are doing a fast stream way of coming into the company. Okay, so what are the things we will be doing for this job? So you have to manage the design and the accreditation. So here, these are two different roles, two different skill sets. The security design, you need an architecture who is very good at security design. But a network administrator with good experience can also do that. And then you need accreditation. Chances are the architecture, cyber security architecture might not know accreditation, because accreditation is also a different field. But all of them, they are cyber related. So for this role, they want someone with the architecture background or knowledge and strongly on accreditation, as we see below. But then this is to do with maritime products. So this company will be producing, let's say, a fishing rod, to put it in simple terms. So they will produce a number of fishing rods, and those fishing rods, they need to design that. Maybe the design, because the government has gone to do what is called secure by design, making sure from the supply chain that these fishing rods, they might contain a gadget connected or updating to the internet. So we need this gadget to be secure, authentication, that is, or a password or a key, a token you could use to access this highly fishing rod technology fishing rod. But also you need accreditation to make sure that the information going into this product doesn't get compromised. So you need to make sure that GDP is being observed. And then you have to follow it through all the phases of the engineering life cycle. So the engineering life cycle, they might ask you, what is the engineering life cycle? But bear in mind, you are an accreditor, you are coming from a security design, and you might not use the engineering life cycle which they want. But let's just check it up. What is an engineering life cycle? So I'll just copy it, go to, let's go to Google, paste that in, then see what it is. So here we are. So we have got design. So they will design, then they plan, then they will develop, integrate, testing operations, maintenance, deployment, and system analysis. So it's a mouthful of what they do. Here is the diagram. So here is a, I think, short version. So you analyze, or you start from design, you implement, you test, then you do evaluation, then you analyze. So Those are the 5 steps in general. So this we have to put it in mind. Now, what else do they want? So we have to liaise with the system accreditor. Now, liaising with the system accreditor, he will come on site, the accreditor will come on site, and you ask you to show the project, how it's going. So so this will be the project manager's most of the time job with the accreditor narrating where the project is, and you will be also there, because whatever the accreditor says, you as doing also accreditation as a risk manager, you need to be able to explain this to the project manager and make sure that uh, whatever the systems accreditor has come to recommend, you are following it through. So you have to determine the physical and the cybersecurity strategy. So the physical side of things, when we are doing the risk management, we use publications. So we could use a publication of CPNI. So CPNI is a government entity which produces these publication on the physical side of security, how you could, similar like a locker with a key combination. So you might need also to have their publication in to see what it says on that product you're doing. So the cybersecurity strategy is just mainly making sure that whatever you're doing is within the recommendations or using the frameworks. So you have got NIST framework. You might also have other framework, IS 1 and 2. So those are some of the framework, and not also forgetting ISO 27000. So here you have to be able to influence it. So this is your own acumen to influence the product so that secure by design can be incorporated into the development. So here also use appropriate tools and techniques to analytically determine information assurance. So there are plethora of tools you could use, but is especially like you use MITRE, which is very common, so that you know where your vulnerabilities or security risk associating to the product they are. So this could be in the system design. So if we go back to our diagram, system design, so here you have to make sure that they don't just design, but they have to implement the secure by design at this stage before implementation. So here also define, articulate acceptable strategies used to verify information assurance. So here you don't just tell them to do, but you show them this strategy, why we are using this strategy. So you might need to do PowerPoint presentation or ask other people also to verify whether by doing a small pen test where you can see the results and see what you can implement. So all that helps in explaining the compliance. And here also the production associated customer security assurance evidence. So make sure documentation is very important, because end of the day you need to be aware that for the industrial security notices, they might require you to do audit. So, or external people will come to do the audit. So they might ask some of the other framework you have used, or else other information which could be collected through auditing to help them out. And here also now we come to the skills and experiences. So here, um, e- experience of physical and cyber security will be ideal UK NATO international standards. So CPNI will cover all that, and your education may be at university. You may have done cyber security as a HND or upwards. That could also come in handy. So if you have got both, that's good. But you could just read upon the CPNI documentation to familiarize on the physical side. One of the example of the physical side could be PIDS, which is the physical intrusion detection system. So people coming in into the building, so there could be like a barrage where if someone goes in, only one person can be allowed to go in, and it might also get his weight, so that when he's coming out, he's keying out of the building, it weighs and it can know whether you are carrying more than what you brought in, and hence the security. So that's something the CPNI body can help with, including the documentation. So knowledge and understanding of current registration. So this is very important because we looked at industrial security notices. This will form part of this knowledge and understanding of the current regulation. But you might need to go to other forms of where, like a government, UK.gov, where they also publicize the outcomes of the current registration to do with in the armed forces we call it JSP, which is joint publication. I've forgotten the S what is used for, but so this joint publication, they would have new legislation or standards which they have maintained, so you could also go online to look at. And knowledge of understanding of physical and cyber security risk assessment. So this is called IT health check. So you need to know how to conduct IT health check, which the MOD could have it as a joint service publication, which is 640. So you could go in there and see, and then document all that in what is called the AMADs. So all those documents form the AMADs. So here, experience in production and prosecution of security risk remediations plan. So these are just the plans you will need to have as part of your accreditation to maintain. Appreciation of technical complexities of larger system design with experience as to how this influence security vulnerabilities and ability to achieve security. So this, you could just form up a security working group to be able to capture all of that and be able to look at all the complex in the larger system as you are designing and implementing all that steps with the security working group can in tandem oversee what is happening. And you might sometimes even need to call the technician to come and explain some of the other difficulty concepts. So further education equivalent experience in STEM discipline is also desirable. So here we can see they are talking of NIST, JSP 440, Legacy, IS 1 and 2, I've already mentioned. This is CCP, is a qualification which is pushed by NCSC. So if you could have a way into study this, that could be also good. So that's it. So this is the CV for Security Assurance Coordinator. So I might have rushed it just to show you what it is, but if there is any comments, or rather some other places you want me to go into and explain more, I could love to do that. So make sure you make some comments. So with that, I thank you for viewing. See you in the next one.